Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up chat, and today we are going to be talking about Archie's nanny. That's it. Harry and Meghan have, well, we think, if you believe certain sources, that they have hired a nanny and that she was possibly visible on the holiday pictures coming back or going to the French Riviera. I think it was actually the return photos where we may have got a little peek at Archie's nanny, so we'll be talking about that, and also we'll be talking about a new, latest, up-to-date palace statement on all the Prince Andrew things that have been going on in the media. So we've got quite a bit to talk about, and I'll try and do it as quickly and succinctly as I possibly can. But first of all, I'll find the chat room and see who is here, and I do hope notifications are going out today. I think they might be. Um, YouTube might be playing ball, possibly. Let's just put it on live chat so I can see everyone. Yes, I can see people. Hello to everybody. Also, I will quickly mention, of course, that I posted a video just about 20 minutes, half an hour ago, about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. More friends have come out in support of their Royal Highnesses, including Jamila Jamil and Jessica Mulroney. So do go and take a look at that video if you've missed it. Right, now, do forgive me, these links. I start with an apology, but I do think it is pertinent to post them because one of them is the source article and the other one is something that I'm fairly disgusted about. So if you want to take a look, then do. If you do not feel like clicking on them, because I know some people feel like if they click on them, they are showing them support. I would like to point out that I do not endorse the content of these articles at all. It is literally just for source material so that people have a reference point to go on if they want to. But if you are someone who doesn't feel like supporting those tabloids by clicking on them, by giving them the clicks and the views, you don't have to. You can just listen to me talking about them. I will pretty much just say all the important things anyway. So, but I want to give you that option of doing that. So, um, I will start with the source article um, of this. So, it wasn't just the Sun, and of course, it is a certain reporter who has reported this article, but it wasn't just the Sun who picked up on the fact that there was a lady in the photographs of the French Riviera return journey photographs. Lots of you guys said, is that possibly, have we possibly had sighting of Archie's nanny? And I took a closer look at the pictures after I went off, and I thought, maybe. I mean, it is literally just, it's a lady. We don't know any more about the lady, and neither do the press at all. Now, one thing I will say is, if indeed the lady is the nanny, I don't think she's a Norland nanny because, as far as I'm aware, Norland nannies always wear their uniform. I don't think I've seen William and Catherine's nanny when she's not on duty, not wearing that uniform. Maybe, I mean, there is still a chance that maybe she could be a Norland nanny if Harry and Meghan have specifically said, don't wear the uniform, you're going on holiday with us. So there still could be a chance that she could be a Norland nanny if indeed she is the nanny at all. But I think there's probably a very good chance that she is the nanny. And I think that's where this article has come from because, again, the article author has just basically taken a wild stab in the dark at who it is. And I don't believe the quotes that are in the source article. For example, the author says that a source said that Meghan is a very hands-on mum, but the new nanny is a godsend. She's extremely professional with a number of nannying years under her belt and has fitted into the family really well. Well, again, that is just a good guess. Because one, she's guessing, first of all, that she is the nanny, and of course that she's new, because we know that Harry and Meghan have had a few previous ones for various things, because obviously babies are at different stages. There's a nurse nanny and all the rest of it. So I'm not terribly concerned that they're on possibly nanny number 3. It just seems part of the process to me. So I think they guessed that she's professional with a number of nannying years. And I think you can guess that she's possibly had a number of nannying years just from looking at her in terms of her age. You know, she's not just out of school. You know, she does look like a professional who has had a number of nannying years. So again, I don't think that has actually come from the source. And that she's fitted into the family really well. Well, of course, if they've taken her on a plane to go on holiday with them, I think you'd probably say that she's fitted in quite well. She's great with little Archie and just adores him. Harry and Meghan are very happy with her. Again, it's just very generic stuff. Um, so yes, they say that she's not a live-in, but will join the Sussexes for their royal tour next month. Well, again, it's pretty self-explanatory that if you're going on a tour like that, you will probably need to take along a little bit of help if you're going out on engagements in the day. So again, it's just a wild stab in the dark, and again, it just shows the photographs. So if you want to see the photographs, you can check out that. Now, that isn't really why I wanted to bring up this story. What I really wanted to bring up was the second article, which I have to warn you is a Daily Mail article. Again, I stress I do not endorse the content of the article, but I wanted to show you what they are doing. If you do not want to click on it, you do not have to. You can just let me talk about it. But I will tell you what they are saying. So, basically, it's disgusting because, again, this is why I don't think they know anything about the nanny at all. I think it's just a guess because the original post from the Sun didn't say anything about a name, didn't say anything about an age, which means that they do not know who it is. And if the original article didn't confirm that already, the Daily Mail definitely do, because in their little bullet point section, right under their headline, and of course they are basically going down the narrative of Meghan's difficult again by pointing out that it's the third nanny in a number of weeks, blah 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 blah. Bullet point number 4 says, "Do you know who Harry and Meghan's new nanny is? Email," and then they put an email address, or tips at blah blah blah. So they are getting people to try and identify the new nanny. Now, this is what I'm not happy with. It is disgusting. It really is. So just like when they put out a bullet point asking people to call in to let them know where Harry and Meghan stayed in Ibiza, they're now doing it for who is the new nanny. They want the dirt. And you better believe it. If somebody contacts them with telling them who the nanny is, you can bet your bottom dollar that they will go all out to find out any dirt, any scandal, any misdemeanor that they could possibly unearth. And probably, if they can't find any, they'll probably make something up. So yes, I just thought it was pretty disgusting. But also, it does prove that they do not know who she is. So I do think it is a wild stab in the dark, but nevertheless, it is probably quite a good stab in the dark because, hey, why else would she be there? I don't think she's recognisable of any of other sort of well-known Meghan's friends, so I don't think it's just a friend that Harry or Meghan has taken along with them on the journey. So it probably is the nanny. But like I say, they don't know anything about her. They are actually they're baiting. They've cast a line and they want to reel in some dirt. They want the dirt. They really do. So I just thought I would post that because if you wanted to know the direction they're going in, they are after the nanny. That's what they're doing. They want to now go after the nanny. And like I say, they will be, if they do find out who she is, they will be scouring her Facebooks. They will be scouring her Twitters, Instagrams, if she has them. So by the way, if you're watching Miss Mystery Nanny, I would delete everything immediately, because it probably won't be long before they find out who you are, and then they will literally be going after everything. So you shouldn't have to do that, but just be careful is all I'm saying. They are coming for you. You know what they're like. Right, I now want to go up. Ooh, where's my live chat gone? And I want to read some comments because I want to know what you're all thinking and saying. Hello to everyone. I can't say hello to everyone individually, but hello to everyone who has said hello. H. London says, I am loving the support being shown for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It's about time and they deserve it. They do. Um, Cassandra says, I saw that request to find out the name of their nanny. Yes, indeed. Dawn says, love that shirt. Thank you. I'm also wearing my new brooch. It's my flamingos with the pearl. And of course, the lover's knot tiara. Dee says, here we go with links again. Yeah, like I say, it's up to the individual. Some people are happy to click them because some people like to know what the source material is of what I'm talking about. Other people don't. I come with a disclaimer. You can click it or you can not click it. But like I say, I do think it's pertinent if I'm talking about something that I show what I'm basing what I'm talking about on. It kind of makes it a little bit more, it makes it more not my opinion and more, actually I'm basing it on some kind of factual evidence. So I do hope people can understand. But yes, I agree. A thumbs down on the Sun article. Cindy says, I've seen her without her uniform, the Cambridge Nanny. Ooh, where? Was she on duty at the time, though? Let me know where, because I would like to see those photographs. So in that case, it still could possibly be a Northern Nanny. Nanny D says, nannies wear uniforms, how archaic. If you're a Northern nanny, it's part of the whole prestige, I think. They don't see it as archaic at all. They see it as professional. They see it as being something to be proud of. Actually, to them it's not archaic at all. To them it's quite fresh and modern because not a lot of people do that anymore. So to them it's like a big selling point, actually, a big plus point. Cassandra says she has not worn uniform on occasion. I haven't seen. I would like to see some photographs. If you've got some photographs of William and Catherine's Norland Nanny, post them in the Royal Reviewer and Friends group and I'll take a look. Southern Bell says some people thought it was Doria. No, I definitely don't think it's Doria. I mean, the photos are a little bit grainy, granted, but no, I definitely do not think it's Doria. Mary says, I don't believe anything the press say anymore. And Tonya says, that's what the media does, play guessing games. Clearly the media is not listening to our outrage at the way they report the stories. A says, I do not make bullies rich by clicking on the vile British tabloids. That is perfectly understandable and I completely respect your views. Antoinette says, not going to any other outlet. You are like I say, you can just listen to me, that is fine. H. London says, too many who write for newspapers and certainly tabloids have an agenda to discredit and harm Harry and Meghan. Elderly Poon says, I bet the nanny's wonderful. You know she is. Exactly. So like I say, they're just guessing. I mean, Harry and Meghan wouldn't take her along, on that holiday if she wasn't likeable, personable, good at the job, getting on well, bonding with the family as well, because it's not just bonding with Archie, it's also fitting in with Harry and Meghan and getting on and being part of the whole unit. It literally isn't just about Archie. Of course, Archie is the reason why they're there, but it's not just about Archie. Nancy D says, I love your fireplace. Well, thank you. It's a log burner. I can burn wood and coal. Cindy says, you're going to boycott the agencies that spread the you know what. Lots of people are. Unfortunately, I can't because I need to look at what they are to be able to come up with valid assessments of what's going on. So I'm kind of in that position where I can't, because if I don't look at what's going on, I don't know what's going on, so I can't talk and comment about it. So I can't dispel any myths or rumours if I don't look. So I do find myself in that difficult position. But like I say, I know some people, even though they know, it's clicking on them, it's giving them those views. Some people feel like they do need to have a look to see it with their own eyes. So I respect both points of views. Maggie says, I saw on one of the tabloids in line at the store, but it says Duchess of Cambridge. No, she's not pregnant. Definitely not. We would know almost when they do if she's pregnant because she gets that terrible morning sickness. Oh no, Anne doesn't feel well. Get better soon. Mwah. Yes, Tonya. Oh my God, they want us to do their job. Yes, they want us to do their dirty work, basically. Yes, I agree. Safety first. Keep the nanny private. I mean, to be honest, it's not something we need to know. I mean, I'm not. I don't have a deep longing to know the name of the nanny, to know her background, to know who her family is, to know if any of her family members have ever been in any kind of trouble or misdemeanor, because that's what they'll be going for. They'll be going for. They will trace back. Your granddad did this or whatever. Your brother did this. You know it's true. You know they will. And I've just missed a load of comments. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm back up. There we go. Nancy D says, is the nanny one of those bodyguard style training? And no, we still don't know who Master Archie's godparents are. Although I think we can probably have a good guess at who they are. And I think Elton is one of my good guesses. I think Elton definitely. I mean, Elton is a very generous and a caring and a loving person. So he would be very good to have as a godparent, and he does have a lot of love to give, and he does take a great interest in his godchildren, and he's a good one to have. And hey, when you've got Elton as a godparent, he's got your back, as he proved. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if Elton wasn't one of them. CH says, Omid Scobie understands it's not about the private plane, it's about the constant daily bashing by the press, some royal reporters whose reports are laced with vitriol and racial bigotry against Meghan. That is indeed true. Again, Sandra, I agree. How do we know she's the nanny? She could be a royal protection officer. Could be. Like I say, I do. But then again, I think I don't think the press would have made that. I don't think they'd have made that mistake. I think they know who the Royal Protection Officers are. I don't know all of them. I don't know all of them by sight. I mean, some of them you see more than others. But it's still possible. It could be. It could be somebody new on the beat, so to speak. But I think the royal reporters know pretty much who the protection officers are, and I think this lady must have been a bit of a mystery to them, because it's like, who is she? Who is she? So I think it's more likely to be the nanny than a royal protection officer, but it's not entirely impossible. That's all I'm saying. DHT says, basically, press don't care about their safety or carbon footprint. They're just vexed they didn't go commercial, so they could pay people for their videos, then complain about security cost for the... Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have won if they'd have gone commercial. They'd have said that they put people at risk, security risks to other passengers. It wouldn't have been good. Oh, then they'd have probably said, well, why did the royal family let them do it? There would have been all that, definitely. Latoya says, hi Elliot, the whole lot of them sound like they are totally deranged. Barbie says, the real power to stop this is the general public, even more powerful than celebrities. After Diana's death, public outcry was so visceral, the press behaved for quite a while. We have the power. That is true. New rules were made after Diana passed, and it seems like slowly over the past 3 years, those have been slipping away. Thank you, Bella, who says, I love the knot tiara and that beautiful brooch. I love the flamingos too. Cassandra says, encourage you to take the formal definition of racism and bullying, and it equates to exactly what the press has done. And Tonya says she was walking in the park with one of the babies. I think it was Princess Charlotte. Oh, well, maybe then. Maybe she did it to be low key. Maybe it was, yeah, maybe it was to be low key. So, hey, it could be. Maybe this nanny could be a Norland nanny who has dressed down to be low key. But I remember seeing the Norland nanny of William and Catherine's at church on Christmas Day. It might have been last Christmas or the Christmas before. And she was wearing her uniform even at church. I'm sure. I pretty much remember. H. London says, "You are smart and wise. Thank you for pointing out the need for caution with this madness." There you go. If I didn't read it, I wouldn't be able to offer the caution. Sorry if I'm skipping down a little bit. I'm going to go straight to the bottom, actually. Patricia says, "I applaud Harry and Meghan for trying to keep their lives private. I agree, this lady is not necessarily a nanny. It is well known that Meghan wants to care for Archie herself." Even with a nanny, I definitely think that Meghan wants to be hands-on. It's having a nanny there is just that extra help, that extra support for when you need to do your work. As we all know, Meghan's on maternity leave, but we know that she's been a busy little bee. She's been a very busy bee behind the scenes working on projects. So, it's difficult to have to be full on childcare and do high level work. So the nanny is there just to provide that support, that extra support that's there when Meghan and Harry need it. And of course, on holiday, they would have wanted to have a bit of relaxation time too. So, whilst they're out in the sun by the pool, baby could be looked after by nanny in the shade or whatever. So, definitely useful to have. Carol says, "Does Archie already have a security guard just for him?" I wouldn't have thought so just for him at this stage. Royal children do. I read a book by Ken Worth where Harry and William, when they were younger, they did have their own protection officer. It was him for a time. So I know that royal children definitely do get them. But seeing as he's a baby and he's with Harry and Meghan pretty much the whole time, I would imagine that he hasn't got his own individual quite at the moment. However, when Harry and Meghan start going off more doing their engagements, there probably will be a need to have protection back at the home with the nanny and Archie. So I'm thinking maybe, at the moment they're making use of Harry and Meghan's protection officers because they're all together as a family unit wherever they go pretty much. But I think come September, I think there will need to be that protection back at Frogmore. Samantha says, "Cambridge's nanny wore her uniform at Charlotte's christening." Yeah, like I say, I'm thinking if we have seen her dressing down, it's probably to be low key because, hey, if she's wearing that uniform in the park, it's a bit of an eye-catching uniform. Let's put it that way. Ella says, "The article said that this was the third nanny. Is that true or just more lies?" Well, we don't entirely know. However, it's not inconceivable that it could be the third nanny because, like I say, you have different stages. So you could have had a night nanny. You could have gone through several nannies before you find the one that you're going to keep for a long time. So it's perfectly conceivable that there is three. However, I don't think it's for any negative reasons. I just think it's for normal reasons, if indeed there has been three. Yes, it is truly a busy, silly season. I've not rested. I've not been able to do anything that I wanted to do in the expected downtime in terms of catching up on other things for the channel that I wanted to do. I haven't stopped. It's been almost not like August at all. Vivian says, "I like the links you are posting. Please continue to post them." Like I say, I will always offer a full disclosure and a disclaimer that you do not have to click, but for the people that do want to, they're there. And by the way, I will put them in the description box as well, so if people are watching on catch up, they can choose, they can make the choice whether they want to or not. Elder Bill says, "An infant nurse first and it changes." Yeah, like I say, like a night nurse, wet nurse, are they called? I don't know all the ins and outs of nannies, but yes, it's perfectly conceivable that they could have gone through they could be on the 3rd. Tonya says, and I'm sure she got some time off and had some fun herself. The nanny. Oh, of course, yes. Most definitely. But hey, wouldn't it be good to be going along with Harry and Meghan and Archie to Elton's, French Riviera home? That would have been magnificent indeed. Tim says, don't forget Trooping the Colour, June the 13th, 2020. You will be there by 5:30 a.m. Ooh, that sounds lovely. And hot. Elder People says, yes, if you are working as a Duchess, then of course you need someone to help with baby travelling and giving speeches, etc. Yes, when Meghan's writing all these things and doing planning for September and whatever other projects she's got tucked away, she'll need a little bit of peace to get that done. Dee Dee says, we know you need to look, Elliot. It's not pertinent to post links. We know where the garbage is coming from. Are you paid? No, I'm definitely not paid to post. Will all subscribers will donate funds in order for you to stop links. I am not paid by anybody. I completely assure you entirely. I am not in anybody's pockets. I can say what I want and I have complete freedom, which is how I want it to stay. That's one of the things that the royal reporters are kind of bound by, because if you work for a big publication or a news channel or something like that, they are pushing you to get a big story for Sunday. They are pushing you to get a big story out, every day of the week. They want it continually to keep coming, and that's partly one of the reasons why they keep coming up with all these lies, even in silly season. That's why we get silly season, because the papers are all the big bosses are still pushing for these stories to come out, and of course they haven't got any. So what do? Rather than being sacked, they make up stuff. That's what they do. So no, I am most definitely not in anybody's pocket. Frostmug Payne says, yes, free and easy. Yeah, I'm not bound by anybody. B2B says, the media has trashed her repeatedly, and this need to know about the nanny is just another version of harassment for the Sussexes. Yeah, entirely. I mean, we do not need to know who the nanny is. I don't need to know. All I need to know, really, is that there is one, that Meghan's getting a little bit of help, and that Archie's happy and safe and secure. And I don't even need to know that. It's just, I'd like to know that. Janny says, hello, but I don't need to know all the ins and outs of her life and her background. Janny says, hello from 7 Maryland, USA. Love watching and listening. Thank you, and thank you for watching and listening. Diane says, I'm pleased the press is being called out by celebrities. Stronger admonishments needed. They put the Sussexes in danger. Give an excuse for nutcases to do harm, and bullying by the press is dangerous. That is indeed true. Right, now, time is pressing on, so I want to read the other part of my title, which is, of course, about Prince Andrew. So again, this has been going on. Now, I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs about it. I just want to read the statement, the updated statement, the new statement that Buckingham Palace has put out. And I will say what it's regarding. It's regarding the quality of the evidence that's been put forward, basically. So it's in response to flight log data records. A pilot put little handwritten initials next to each flight, and one of the initials used was PA, which he has said meant Prince Andrew, but it could also have meant other people known to have travelled with Epstein. And basically the palace has looked through this, and they have they've gone back to the court circular, which is a record of where royals have public engagements on any given day, and they've actually found that on most of those occasions where it's listed a PA, that Andrew was not actually on the plane. He was actually somewhere else on another continent. So their response to that was, a spokesman for Buckingham Palace said, this evidence statement was submitted in a case in which the Duke was not a party, and in which any suggestion of impropriety with underage minors is categorically untrue. The testimony does not stand up to scrutiny and is inconsistent when checked against the court circular. It places the Duke in different places at the same time and in some cases on different continents. It is emphatically denied that the Duke of York had any form of sexual contact or relationship with Virginia Roberts. Any claim to the contrary is false and without foundation. And that is what the palace has said, and that is where I am leaving it. Let's go back to the comment section. Blossom Rod Payne says, we don't know about Zara's nanny, nor even if anyone else has one. That is true, and we certainly don't need to know anything about Harry and Meghan's particularly. Although I will say she looks a very nice lady. But hey, whoever you are, if you're watching and you are that nanny or that lady, look out, because the press want to know who you are. Like I say, I would make sure anything on social media, if you do have any accounts, are just tightened up completely. I really would, because they will dig deep. Vivian says, when Meghan returns to work, I like to see her slim with beautiful dresses. Well, I think she's fine the way she is, just being natural, just being a natural mom, and I'm sure she will be whatever she will be in September. She doesn't have to rush anything, is what I think most people would agree with. Right, I am going to go because it's 31 minutes and it is 20 to 7 here in the UK. So, if you have enjoyed this video, I have, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit the notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. So, from me in Shropshire, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.